Hello and welcome to the Blackout Podcast, where I get to talk to amazing people who do amazing things. Today I have, hopefully one day I'll have enough money to say, I want to buy a house.
Yeah.
But I have my friend, Realtor, Allie White. Thanks for coming to the podcast today.
Thank you.
Okay, so I remember, actually I was talking about this before you came on. I love your Instagram. It's like, this mix of fun and quirky and
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, no, it's definitely my personality through and through being shown on social media. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have this love and respect for the people that do that because I can't. Like, my Instagram is just, oh, look, there's a podcast of this. Like, I feel so, I guess, self-conscious. Like, how do you overcome that?
So yeah, that is actually something that a lot of people ask me, how do you overcome that? And it's one of those things where you just have to do it. Like, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I think that was the first I actually did real estate coaching, and it was a coaching for my business. And one thing she always said to me, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I just instilled that in my day-to-day life, because I feel like, especially as a woman, we definitely internalize things, especially with how we look, what we sound like, what other people think about us. So it's one thing, and it works great. Like, a lot of people compliment me on my social media.
Yeah, oh, freak. It's I love it. I love you. It's like, yeah. Like, okay, I can, I feel the person's vibe. I feel this person's vibe, and the person is a vibe themselves. So
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Yeah.
There was this video you did with your friend, and your friend was just disturbing you. I'm like, I'm working.
Yeah. And like I said, when we were talking before we started recording, is she always says, Allie, you're doing that thing again. I just ignore her. So I'm more self-conscious about it. And someone told me, older realtor who's been in the industry for a while, they said your kids, they will quickly understand that when mommy's on the phone, you don't talk to her. And they're starting to figure that out. Now they'll just whisper at me and do hand motions.
Okay, so like, let's rewind and begin this, like, your realtor journey. Why did you decide to be one? What was the process of?
Yeah, so I decided to become a realtor to really, I guess, complement my husband's industry, where he's a contractor.
Oh.
Yeah, but that wasn't the specific reason. That's definitely one of the reasons. But another one was I wanted my children to see that, mommy can pay the bills too. And also, I was a hairdresser, a hairstylist, and not to say anything negative. I love that industry and it taught me a lot of things. But for me, it wasn't financially liberating. And so I just needed to do something that was more making my own schedule, where I do have 4 kids, and real estate just happened to be one of the options.
I'm sorry, like, that just blew my 4 kids.
Yes.
Where do you have the time?
Well, I can't take all of the credit.
Right.
My father, he does live with us full time, so he is our caregiver for our children when we are working. But I do get my days where I'm home with my kids, which I really do enjoy.
Okay, so you're like hairdressing. Well, it makes sense about the hair now.
Yeah.
It makes sense about the hair now.
Yeah.
So you're like, hairdressing, it's cool, but how do you know? I mean, I'm guessing that you were other options. Why was this the one you decided to land on?
So I did go to university. I was trying to pursue a business degree, and I did that for 2 years. I wasn't successful. And then I did go to community college to try, business administration, same route. Wasn't successful. And then I had some few jobs, and one job that really resonated with me was being a housekeeper. And I was like, man, I just felt like I didn't want to do these type of jobs for the rest of my life. That's why I pursued hair, And then I really enjoyed hair because, I did the braids on the side, the weaves on the side, and I just wanted to expand that knowledge because I was also selling hair extensions. So I guess it was like the hustler in me that was like, maybe you would do great in real estate, especially where you can take the course via correspondence. So I didn't have to quit
go to the
real
thing.
estate. I could continue to do hair at the salon I was working at while I did my course. And then I can continue to work there and be a real estate agent. And then eventually it was time for me to make the decision to say I can no longer do hair.
Right.
But I still do pay my yearly dues so I can keep my hairstylist license.
Why?
Just it's only $100 every year.
Oh, wait. So let's okay. So, it's kind of funny though. Like, why? So I think I've talked to someone that does hair, and I still don't get like, why do you need the license to make hair?
Well, it's like any industry, you just have a regulatory body.
Right.
So even in real estate, I have a regulatory body, and we pay yearly dues, quarterly dues, monthly dues in real estate. And in comparison to just keep my hair license for $100 a year, it's like why not?
Yeah. Okay. What does the license, the hair one, do? Like, what does it say you can do?
I'm a licensed cosmetologist, so I'm just specifically in hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're like, how long was the correspondence for the realtor thing?
So the real estate course, I don't know if it's changed, but when I did it, you had 6 months to do the course via correspondence, and you also had the ability to sit in on their in-class sessions. I believe the in-class session is a month. Don't quote me on that, but it was like 9 to 5, 5 days a week. I couldn't do that. Yeah, so the correspondence, I took the full 6 months to do it. Some people do it sooner. I took the full 6 months, and then I was able to write the exam shortly after, and luckily I passed on the first try.
What is the how long is the exam, and was it difficult?
Yeah, so honestly, the exam was like nothing I've ever experienced before.
Oh, wow.
As far as university exams and high school exams, and it was like it was huge. I think we were in the room for like 2 hours.
The fuck?
Yeah. And it was a bunch of multiple choice.
Right.
Like when I think half of the exam was multiple choice, and then there was like 20 short form questions, and then there were 3 long form questions. You know what I mean? Like long form answers. And then you had to fill out forms. It was nerve-wracking to me because I started running out of time. And they teach you, if you don't know the answer, just skip it and go back. So I actually left a whole page blank.
Holy shit!
Because I was like, I don't know any of the answers.
Right.
But it doesn't. The course and the exam, that's just how to become a real, to get licensed. To become an actual realtor, it's different. You know what I mean? Like I always explain, the best way to explain the course is how not to go to jail.
What?
Yeah, how not to go to jail.
Okay, please talk me through this.
Because it's all about because real estate is heavily regulated in Canada, but it's also regulated province to province. So different real estate laws in different provinces.
So if you were to go to, I don't know, Freien, New Brunswick, you'd have to do another license?
I would have to get another license.
I'm guessing that one will be in French too.
Yeah, and the course is just about real estate laws and bylaws and the forms and how to properly fill it out.
So, okay, so my idea, you're going to correct me now if I'm wrong, but my idea is that I want to buy a house. I go to, I don't know, online or whatever. I see this person. I'm like, I want to buy a house. And is there that job to kind of say these are the houses that are available, and then I'm like, oh, I like that one, and I have the money to buy it, and I give the money, or
So our job as real estate agents or realtors is that we help assist with the transaction. Like, I can't spend your money for you, but I can guide you in a way that you can find the perfect home, or maybe not the perfect home, just like the home that you want. And
or can afford.
yeah, or can afford. And then we go through the transaction in a way and it's a simplified version. Again, it's to make sure we're following real estate regulations and laws.
Wow. So I guess what is how, like are there a lot of these laws, or?
Yeah, so there's a whole Real Estate Trading Act. Yeah. There's a whole act.
And you have to, like, how much of that do
you have to know the gist of it.
Okay, because
right?
I'm like,
Like, I don't have to go and be like, paragraph, page 35, paragraph 2, line 5.
Yep.
Says X, Y, and Z. No.
Right.
But I do have to know at least the gist of it to make sure I don't go to jail, you don't go to jail, my brokerage doesn't go to jail. Like, just those things.
Brokerage was?
So brokerage is, so in order to have a real estate license, you get licensed by what we call our commission. And then in order to hold, I don't necessarily hold my license. My brokerage holds my license, if that makes sense. So I'm with Remax Nova. So they hold my license to trade in real estate. I can't participate as a realtor without being with a brokerage.
So how is the brokerage formed? Like,
so it's like a corporation. There's owners involved, and the owners run the brokerage within the Real Estate Trading Act.
So
and the bylaws.
I guess, can anyone just go open up a brokerage? Like, you need a ton of money to do that, or?
Yes, I don't know the gist of it. It's nothing that I want to do. It's nothing that I want to do.
Okay, how did you now decide this is a brokerage I want to be on?
Yes, that's a good question. So I originally started at a brokerage. And then, I just wanted to expand and stuff like that. And so this was the brokerage I picked, with this Remax Nova here in Halifax. But as far as picking a brokerage, what I tell people is it's all what you feel comfortable with. If you want to go to a brokerage that's more of a boutique brokerage, smaller, probably about 20 agents in it, because you want to have more one-on-one, or maybe you want to be more of a lone ranger and you don't really want to be in that whole office environment, then you would go to a smaller brokerage. But then I just happened to pick a bigger brokerage who has over 200 agents in their office. Yeah, and it's just...
How does everyone make money?
Well, I always say there's enough business to go around for everyone.
Especially in Halifax with all the houses going up.
Like, we reached 1 million people.
Okay. So talk me through this, right? The pandemic happened and everyone, like, I guess I've always wondered why the prices of the house prices went up.
So that's a common misconception, is that when the pandemic hit, prices started going through the roof. But it did. But we were still receiving multiple offers pre-pandemic. So then we went into the pandemic, and then there was the multiple offers, and it kind of got escalated. And then we got that mass migration. I think I seen a lot of it after we were advertised as like the euphoria of the pandemic.
But we were, though.
We were. And so I think that has a lot to like people can argue it, but I think that played a part in that. So that's why the house sales went up. It was just the over asking, over asking, over asking. And me personally, I think we're just on par now with the rest of the country. I think Nova Scotia was undervalued for a very long time.
Oh.
And now we're just catching up with the rest of the
But like we are
provinces.
poorer than those people though.
And I get that as well. So the average cost of living and, you know, average wages that people make here, that's a thing. And I also think that, and that just speaking with people who are looking into purchasing, a lot of them think they can't do it. A lot of people, but they haven't spoken to a realtor, they haven't spoken to a mortgage broker, they haven't spoken to a banker, so no one really knows the process of doing it. And I always tell people, you would be surprised what you are pre-approved for. And it's a thing. People are surprised. They're like, wow, I never thought I would be approved for that by myself.
Okay. So walk me through this though. I come to you, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to do this. What happens? Like, what do we do?
So I would say, hey, Israel, are you pre-approved? And you would say no. Then I would say, hey, I work with a great mortgage broker, or I work with a great bank rep at a few banks. What would you prefer, a mortgage broker or a bank?
What would you advise me to take?
So I would say that if you are a self-employed individual or a little unsure about your finances, go to a mortgage broker, because a mortgage broker works with hundreds of lenders, whereas the bank has their own products, the bank. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. I think that in the age of being a consumer, there's products and services and items out there for everyone. So a bank might be great for someone, but it might not be great for me, or it might not be great for you. You know what I mean?
Well, in what, I guess, what situation would a bank not be a good fit?
A bank might not be a good fit for someone who is self-employed. Me, I wasn't a good fit for a bank, so I went with the mortgage broker. Another person, maybe your credit score is not the best, so you go to a mortgage broker. Or you know, and it's also a thing too, people just shop around. So you could go to a bank and the bank could give you a pre-approval amount. You could go to the mortgage broker and it's the same pre-approval amount. But what people don't know as well is that, again, I'm not saying one's better than the other, but a lot of people don't know. People think too, you pay for the mortgage broker. In certain cases, they do, but that mortgage broker is able to get you approval, and sometimes they can get you approved through banks as well. So you don't necessarily have to go to a bank rep. There's 2 banks that you can't get, or 3, like credit union don't offer their products to mortgage brokers. RBC doesn't offer their products to mortgage brokers. I think BMO as well don't offer their products to mortgage brokers. But a mortgage broker would have access to, say, TD's products or Scotiabank products. And a lot of people don't know that. But some people are faithful to their bank, where they would say, I bank with RBC, so I want to go with RBC.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say I'm pre-approved. The pre-approval is really just tied to your credit.
Yeah, so the pre-approval is based off of your credit score, your income, your debt, how much debt you have in comparison to your income, and how much you have for a down payment. I think, like you said, we're poor. You know, we're not
Relatively
poor
compared to other provinces.
And I think one of the problems is that people have a hard time saving. So we need to save for our down payment. We need to save for our closing costs.
So, wait. What's closing costs?
Oh, there's so much. So yes, and when purchasing a home, you're also subject to closing costs. So you have to pay for the lawyer who put the deed on land registry. You have to pay for land transfer tax, which you can't avoid it. It's a one-time charge of 1.5% of the purchase price of the home. There's also property tax adjustment. If the house is on oil, there's also an oil adjustment. So there's a few closing costs that you have to do, but the big portion is the down payment, which is the 5%.
I was reading something the other day, like 2 weeks ago, a few weeks ago or something, about something like house inspection, something.
Yeah, so home inspections.
Yeah,
Home inspections, some do consider that a closing cost, but that's something that you pay for during purchasing a house. Like, say if you have an accepted offer on a house, you'd get a home inspection, and you pay for it.
And what are they inspecting? Like,
they don't have X-ray vision, so they can't look through the walls or anything. They can't destroy the people of them house, right? But they can say, I tell my clients it's more of an educational thing. It's how to work your house, how to use your house. And if there's anything that's alarming that would cause safety or harm to you or ruin the integrity of the house, that's what the home inspection is. But a home can't pass or fail an inspection.
If it fails, what happens?
Well, it doesn't. It's all how you interpret it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's all how you interpret it. Like if you have a home inspection and the roof, they say, oh, the roof is got 5 years left to it. There's a few missing shingles, and then you get a quote for the roof, and it's $6,000. Well, do you want to spend the $6,000? This is it.
I'm like, yeah, no, we passed.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh
but if then there's something major, like I was at a home inspection and the foundations was cracked. We were pre-warned by the listing agent, but the cracks were like this big.
Holy shit.
In the foundation. It was an apartment building. It was 6 units and the crack just went from the top all the way down. And
that's no good.
And you could see it on the inside. No, it wasn't. And I think we were quoted like almost $80,000 to fix it. So obviously my buyer walked away from it because that wasn't a good investment for her at the time.
Who is responsible though? The person that is selling or the person that is buying?
So it's more of a negotiation thing. I always tell my clients it's always worth to ask. So as a realtor, that's one thing that's my job is the negotiation process.
Who are you working for though? Like, so is there a situation?
It all depends. I work in my seller's best interest.
Right.
Or if I'm working with my buyers, I work in my buyer's best interest.
Is it allowed where I'm the realtor, right? I'm selling your house and I'm the person that is also bringing the buyer?
So yes, that is allowed.
It is allowed.
Yes, but that's a whole other that's a whole other podcast. That's a whole other podcast. But no, that is something that's happened, and it's common but not common. Me personally, I don't like doing it.
Yeah,
so if I'm a listing agent, I tell my sellers straight up, like I don't like doing it. If you're comfortable with me doing it, then fine, sure, but I don't like doing it. It's double the paperwork, and I just feel like I'm not best representing my buyer and the seller. I personally, it's just me.
But you're getting paid both ways, though, right?
Yeah, but like,
is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, maybe I'm scared of getting sued.
Okay. I was just okay. So, but now is a seller's market pretty much, right?
No.
No. They're making all this money.
No, it's not really a seller's market. We still have pretty low inventory. So that real estate works off of the basic supply and demand model. So low supply means high demand. Low demand means high supply. So right now, we still have a very low supply. So the demand is still high.
The building's going up, doesn't that add?
The buildings, like the condos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Real estate's subjective, so some people might want condos, some people might want to stick with the single family homes.
Right. So, in your experience so far being a realtor, which one is moving more?
Definitely homes priced under $400,000. Mobile homes are another one that moved up really quickly.
Wait. So, I was driving the other day and this freaking big ass truck was carrying an actual house. Is that a mobile home?
So
or?
it could be a mobile home, but it also could be a modular home. People get those.
Like, why would you? That's scary to me that they can drive my house on a fucking truck. It's like, nope.
Modular homes are more common than you think. You can go to a company that the house is already pre-made in a factory and they deliver it and
Literally
they
those, yeah, they
just slap it up. They slap it up in a few weeks.
Fuck me, no, I don't know. I was just like, why is this thing on the truck? Anyway, so you do your thing, you get your license. Do they give you a ceremony license, or you just
a ceremony? No, there's
something in the email?
But that would be pretty cool.
Right.
You just get something in the email.
That's it. And then, okay, but so you said your brokerage has to have your certificate. Do you have to get the brokerage before your certificate comes?
Yeah, so you have to get the brokerage before they issue your.
So
the
at
brokerage.
What point do you talk to the brokerage when you're doing the exam? Or?
So you should talk to brokerages before you even write your exam.
Oh.
Some brokerages offer not training, but like educational seminars on the course. So like if you have questions or anything, it's almost like a little night class and you go to the class and you can say, well, I was reading this in the book. What does that mean?
Is it the same book everyone reads for this thing?
Yeah, it's the same book that everyone reads.
How big is it?
My book was like that big. Okay. Yeah, and then there was like the additional stuff for it, but then yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so
sorry, the exam is different. I think there's like 6 different exams in circulation. So if I took exam A,
I'm like, hey, this is what I saw.
Yeah, this is what. No, that's not the case. You don't.
I might get a different one. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you said talk to the brokerage before you even write your thing. Like, do you talk to many ones?
Yeah, so interview as many as you want. Like, one thing you have to
What do you do? Do you go and say, I'm going to be a real estate agent and...
Yeah, and you literally, it almost feels like a job interview. I guess it's both ways. Like, the brokerage is making sure you're a right fit for their brokerage, but you're also interviewing the brokerage to make sure they're a right fit for you and your business. And I guess the common thing is money, because you do have to pay to be at these brokerages.
Pay for what?
Pay for them.
Like, I don't... Oh, yeah. Using their space, I guess.
Using their space, using their products, their services. Yeah, you have to pay the brokerage. And that, I think that's...
Is it like a one-time fee?
No, we have monthly fees, and then they get a cut of every check. And that's at every brokerage. At some brokerages, you do cap out, and it was like, yeah, you get to collect 100% of your commission.
Oh, at a point?
At a point, but you still have to pay them monthly fees and stuff like that.
I'm sorry.
And there's like a social fund. There's like, a donation, an obligated donation that you have to do. Like my brokerage, we donate to IWK. So they're a huge donor for that, because out of every agent's paycheck goes. Yeah.
Do they pay you? Like,
how? So that's another thing too. The brokerage is responsible to pay us. Yeah.
It's so murky. I don't understand. Are you working for them? Because
no, it's weird in the sense where No, I'm not working for them. I am working for myself, but they are a huge driving force in my business and to keep it successful. So my brokerage, and specifically Remax Nova, they invest a lot of that money back into our agents, into the agents. So we get great courses. Say if we have
Courses for what?
Like financial literacy was a recent one that we just had. Another one, we have great parties, like we weekly daily classes that we can have sessions with our owners and experts. So and the technology that we use. So basically that's what we're paying for.
What technology?
So like customer CRM. I don't know the word.
Yeah.
But it's like you pay for a CRM. Maybe you're helping pay for the brokerage's websites so they have a good SEO. My brokerage, we're opening up an app that you can search homes on. So a lot of those things are tools that I can use in my business, and my clients have access to things as well.
So, for instance, if I come to you and say I want X house, you can be like, "Hey, go check out this thing."
Yeah, go check out.
And then I go put in, I want 3 bedrooms, this size. You know, the other thing that throws me off is like square feet. What the fuck? How do you? Yeah. I never understand the square feet thing.
Yeah. So you have to do it accurately, because if you don't do it accurately, measuring a house, then you can like really piss some people off, because they go to this house thinking that it's bigger than what it is, but there was a little like bump out in the house. So rather than them measuring from the bump out to the other wall, they measure from the larger part of the wall to the larger. So me specifically, when I'm measuring a home, I get my photographer. He comes in and he does something called a virtual tour, also known as a Matterport. And it's literally, you ever see it where you can walk through the house? And when he does that, then I get a footprint of actual square footage of the home. So there's no confusion.
Is that one of the things that the brokerage pays for?
No, so I pay for that. But there's some brokerages out there that they do have like an in-house photographer, and they pay for that. Or say if you join a team, because can be teams within brokerages, and the team lead, they pay for it. Certain teams.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so now I've done my interview with the brokerage. I'm like, I won that one. What do you do? Okay, so you say Remax Nova. All good. I choose you. Do you apply?
No. So you're like, I choose you. I want to come to your brokerage. And they're like, yeah, come on. That's how it goes. And then you get your offboarding for the brokerage, and then the rest is history.
And then the agency, the licensing thing, sends your license to them.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so now I'm in Remax Nova. What happens? Like, what's a day like for you there?
Day life in Remax Nova is maybe I might go to the office, maybe I might not. Because I'm not obligated to go to the office, but I do love our culture at our office. Everyone's so nice and super supportive. Like, it doesn't feel competitive at all. And we have classes every day, and we call it the bullpen. So say if you need to do work and you don't have an office in there, you have a space that you can work in, and you have access to the computer, printer, and all that stuff.
Wow. Okay. Now, what do you, when you sell, like the house is sold? Oh, I guess at what point is the house done and you're done with the seller and the buyer, whatever your client is?
So whenever there's a transfer of keys. So as soon as there's a transfer of keys and the buyer now, they signed off on everything with the lawyer, house lawyer's like, you've officially closed, congratulations. That's typically when my relationship or contract is up with my clients. It's actually kind of a sad time, because you've been with this person for so long, and it's like, man, like, and you don't want to bombard them with, hey, how's it going, blah, 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 miss ya, because you genuinely miss these people. But I think all my clients know that I'm always thinking about them. Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
And then, what is the typical percentage of, what do they call it?
So, typical, not, I shouldn't say the average because it's not the average right now, but 5% of the purchase price, and then it's cut in half.
The brokerage keeps half?
No. So you're the buyer agent, I'm the seller agent. We split 5%, so I get 2.5%, you get 2.5%.
Oh, unless I'm the one that is both.
But yeah, but a lot of people don't know that the commission is negotiable, but typically like 4% is the lowest most realtors will go.
Negotiate as a home buyer?
Home seller, because the seller is paying for it.
Oh, so when I sell my house, I pay both people.
Yes. It is worth it though, if you think about what agents do to get to that step.
So wait, here's one for you, right?
Mhm.
Like, let's say I have a house and my friend is like, I love your house, I have money for it. Like, can we just do that? Do we
Yeah,
need to
you
go
don't
to
you don't need a realtor. You
Oh.
can people buying seller houses privately. If the question is it going to be a successful purchase or a successful sale? Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like again, there's in a consumer society, there's a product for everybody, you know what I mean? So if someone wants to go for sale by owner, then whatever floats your boat, you know what I mean?
Well, I guess, okay. Are there situations where the seller agent and the buyer agents are in the same brokerage?
Yes.
Is that like a cool?
It's not like conflict of interest or anything like that. Like if we work in the same office, you don't have access to my people's information, and that's something that I'm held by the real estate laws.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
can't be like, hey, I need to hook you up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I'm sorry. This is just fascinating to me. At some point, I don't know. Fingers crossed. But at some point, so it'd be good to know that. Okay.
Yeah. But one question you said, how much does the brokerage get? So every brokerage is different. Sometimes I keep 60, they take 40, 70, 30, 70, or 80, 30, 20, 90, 10, 95, 5.
It depends on, is it like,
depends on the brokerage.
Does it is it one set amount or does it differ based on the purchase?
So some brokerage does tiers.
Okay.
So once you collect so much in gross commission, then you're bumped up to, say, you capped out, or you're at 95.5.
Wow. Okay. And I guess, do you have like a minimum, a maximum number of people you can work with? Like clients?
No, like you can work with, there's some agents, my first year of real estate, I probably did like one transaction. And then, now I'm surpassed that, tongue-tied. But I know agents who do over 100 deals themselves in a year.
Jesus. So I'm just gonna do, you say average house is 400K. 5% of that is like 20 grand something.
Is it?
Cause like 10% is 40, so
yeah,
5% is 20. And then I split that as 10. Then I give those guys, wow. So if I'm selling like, what's in the agency, in the brokerage, sorry.
Actually, no. I think the average commission, I do know this, the average commission is about, like you said, that's about the average commission. And then, but you pay your brokerage, like I said, the 40%, 30%, 10%, whatever it is. Then you keep whatever you keep. But then you also have to pay taxes on that. You also have to reimburse yourself for the staging that you made to pay for.
What staging?
So if I sold someone's house.
Oh, you need to like take pictures, make it look good.
Yeah, marketing. Buyers, you're driving around all over God's creation. get them a house. I know they're driving too, but then you also book in the home inspection. I guess it's just really for your time, you know. And I know it does sound like a lot of money when you say it like that, but I guess the great thing about real estate is that if you establish a really good client base, like you can have really great, you can become a person of leisure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you just like doing
Yeah.
that. So I know this
But there's some, like, you could do a deal in January and then you don't have another closing until March. Or maybe you have 2 closing in March.
So that's actually something that came to mind before.
And no, I don't get paid until you get the keys, right? So you could look at me and say, Allie, I bought my neighbor's house, sorry. And we just was working together for the past 6 months.
What the fuck?
It happens.
Okay, so what is the, I guess, if a agent is like working, what would be the average that the agent would do for a year sales?
I think the average, this is stats based off of, I don't know. I'd seen these stats the other day. I just can't remember if they're stats for Nova Scotia or stats for my office. But the average is 12 deals a year. Okay. It's like 10 or 12 deals a year.
So average of like 1 a month.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a lot of. So I guess you've had this journey so far doing this. How do you love it? Is it?
Yes, no, I love it. I love it. I love it more for what I'm able to do. Like, I'm able to stay with my kids when I want to, create my own schedule. If I don't feel like working on Sundays, well, guess what? I'm not working on Sundays. I feel like, yes, I love real estate, but at the same time, I feel like my drive, my grit is what makes me successful, because yeah, you can make money doing it, but what are you going to do with that money? So I said to myself, I know as a new agent, no one's going to give me their house to sell because I'm new. So I make my own listings. I go buy distressed properties, I renovate them, and then I sell them. And I make more than I would make in a commission.
Right, right,
You know what I mean?
And I guess, how do you find those type of houses that's like, okay, but need some work?
Just the internet, MLS. I see
MLS?
them, multiple listing services. So that's
okay.
like the Realtor.ca.
And then you check. Okay.
Then I just go look at it. I may like it. I may not like it.
Wow.
There's some that I've lost out on because my clients were offering on them. You know, so I don't take away from
them.
my people.
Clients are okay. Wow, this is an eye-opening discussion for me. And, I said I wasn't going to keep you too long, and I think I have. But I want to let you go with this question now. Now that, you have something that lets you spend time with your kids and stuff, like, are there other things you're doing to balance your time and take care of yourself?
One thing that I strive to do now, as far as taking care of myself, I do get my nails done, get my hair done. I recently stopped getting my eyelashes done because I think I was allergic. But I do a lot of self-care things. Me and my husband, we do want to start going on vacations more, but it's just a little bit hard for us with all our kids. And I guess, yeah, that's really it for the self-care. I try to eat. I try to eat. Hey, if I can get breakfast in me, it's a good day.
Right. It's a good day. Wow, yeah, so busy. Allie, this has been a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.